Yeah. Yeah. TGIF. Happy Friday. Ready to rock and roll on the Valentine show. Thanks to the Lord. Let's go. All right. How's everybody doing out there? Feeling good, can't complain. Alexis is in the chat already. We got a lot to cover today on the show. We're going to be talking about the death of DMX. We're going to be talking about the death of George Floyd, a topic which I haven't covered a lot here on the show. We're also going to be talking about so many things. We're going to be reacting to a funny video of some kids in school, right? Saying that black people can't get IDs or that they don't know how to get IDs, etc. A great show as always. So grateful to be here. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me get into my screens. Let me get into my chat. Make sure everything is nice and dandy, rocking and rolling. But we got a great show today. We got a great show today. Let me stop this music. Let's get into the dealio, as they say. A lot of stuff. Things I haven't covered during the week we're gonna be talking about. Let me see here. All right. This is how we're going to start it off. We're going to start it off with a bang, as we always do here on the Valentine Show. Morgan in the house. As always, thank you very much for the people that are here. Morgan, Alexis, everybody. Hit that share, hit that like right away. Let me find the chat. Just give me 1 second, guys, here while I do this. All right. Alrighty then. We're rocking and rolling. How's everybody feeling out there? Alexis, how you feeling? Morgan, how are you feeling, Morgan? We're feeling good. Can't complain. Let's start right away. Let's get into it right away. Like I said, we're gonna be talking. There's a lot of things we're gonna be talking about today, and we're gonna end it with the obviously the lines and the calls, and hopefully you guys call me and let me know. $15,600. Illegals are going to be eligible in the state of New York. I'm going to ask you the question. Is that fair? Illegals qualify for $15,600 and a whole bunch of things. Let's start it with this, right? Gender fluid model is the first male finalist for Sports Illustrated. Let me tell you this. As a Christian man, I'm not for any type of nudity, any type of showing. As a matter of fact, I'm not even for bikinis or swimsuits that show too much. I think a woman's body is supposed to be shown off to her husband, obviously. I think that has to be kept on the wraps, right? Keep the goodies on the wrap, right? You don't have to go out and show out everything that you got just because there's water nearby. Why you got to do that? But obviously, traditionally, Sports Illustrated has had a swimsuit edition or whatever it is, and it's a very famous one, right? Where women come out and you know, women that are beautiful. Obviously, the woman physique is beautiful, is artful. God made her like that, and they show it off in the Sports Illustrated issue here, and we have the first ever. What you guys are seeing here? What gender is this? If you said male, you just committed a hate crime. There's a male who says is gender fluid, and he's confused as to what he is. He doesn't even know. And I'm not making that up. I'm not saying that just to say that. He says it himself that he is confused. He doesn't know whether he's a male or a female. He don't know where he's at right now on the gender spectrum, because that's how they put it, a gender spectrum. It's how you feel today. It's, are you a male? No, I don't know. I might be. Maybe yes, maybe no. Look, gender fluid model is first male finalist for Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Again, men are just taking over everything. And some women are like, shh. Most women actually are quiet about that. The famous Sports Illustrated issue, swimsuit issue edition may soon make a diversity history by featuring a male model who identifies as gender fluid on its pages. Louis Freeze beat out thousands of other candidates to be named one of the 15 finalists for a spot in the yearly magazine issue. Freeze said that currently he has no clue what gender he is at the moment. Look at it. Look, and it shows this is against things to discern. It shows the Instagram page of him right here. Look at him right here. This is Louis Freeze. And look, he says it that he's unsure. He doesn't know what he is. Look, so this is a thing, right? A post for him on Instagram. And look where he says it. Look where he says it. Going through this process, I have learned, obviously through the whole swimsuit edition or whatever, Sports Illustrated. Going through this process, I have learned so much about myself, most importantly, my identity. To be honest, I have no clue where my gender really falls at the moment, but all I can do is take things day by day and share every moment with all you. Again, it's not me saying it. It's not the news article saying it. He's saying that he has no clue what gender he is at the moment. He doesn't know whether he's male, female. He has no idea. You shouldn't be subject to. I think he also said, let's read a little bit here. I'm going to be shooting with Sports Illustrated swimsuit 2021. OMG, I literally don't even know what to do or say, but I am so beyond myself right now. This dream started years ago, and what once seemed almost impossible is finally true. I cannot thank SI Swimsuit and at MJD, I don't know what that is, and the entire swimsuit SI Swim team for allowing me to spread my message through their platform. Going through, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Somewhere he says, let me see. Let you go. Look at it right here. Look at this quote. No longer should a man or woman feel they need to fit certain gender standards. No longer should stereotypes exist for sexual orientation. No longer should people hide their authentic character, Freeze said. Again, they want to make a spectrum out of this, which they have. It's not just male or female. It's a spectrum. It's, you might feel 75% female and 25% male. But the funny thing is that they go so hard when they say that they are gender fluid or that they don't conform to a gender. For example, if a female doesn't conform, she says she's not a female, right? Her gender, right? Her sex is female, but her gender is male, right? They go so hard as to actually look like the other sex. And on the same side, they say that gender, it's a social construct. It's constructed by society that men, look strong, and that men wear hats like this for the most part, that men are manly. Yet when females want to switch sex, they go very hard to mimic that other sex. Yet there is no there's no gender identity, or gender is fluid, and gender comes up and down, or gender is a social construct. I just don't get it. So if you're just male, just stay the way you look and just say, I'm male. This is male. Even if you look like a girl, be like, this is also male. Why do you have to go get the low cut, look more manly and do that? I mean, it makes no sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to them either, because they're confused. He says himself, he's confused. He doesn't know where he stands at the moment. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Continuing on here, I tell you this right now, guys, you're going to have to, I'm telling you, it's strategic about where you're sending your money. And what products from what people are you getting? This is, by the way, follow me on Twitter. I'm at Valentine Show 7 on Twitter. I try to, on Twitter, I get every once in often there, I share stories that I find interesting and stuff like that. But Twitter is a very toxic place. Twitter is probably the most toxic out of all of them, because it's just insanity what goes on in Twitter. But look at this from United Airlines. You might not want to fly United Airlines from now on, to be honest, because they're looking not for the best and the brightest, but for the ones who conform to a certain skin color. They say themselves, look at it. Let's play this thing here.
Everything checks good, baby. I'm just nab it out.
Let's put it out. First of all, look what it says. Our flight deck should reflect the diversity group of the people on board our planes every day. That's why we plan for 50% of the 5,000 pilots we train in the next decade to be women or people of color. Learn more and apply now. Shouldn't that read better? should be 50% of the people we train, or actually 100% we train in the next decade, should be people who qualify for the job. How about that? How about that? No, but not Delta. They're again woke capitalism. They don't need to do none of this stuff. They're doing it that way. It doesn't affect their bottom line.
Departure review is looking at the plate. Everything checks good. We're going to just nab it out. Then airplane set up for us to actually flight navigation.
By 2030, we plan to train 5,000 pilots through United Aviate Academy.
Our nav departure. Captain review. Any special specific things you're going to do for me?
We plan 50% of admitted students to be women of or people of color.
Thank you. That sounds great. It looks like a great day. Flight attendant said they'll be ready to go in about 15.
Partner organizations will help identify and recruit top talent. Yeah, that's what you should be recruiting, top talent, not people of color. It has nothing to do with people of color. It's like you go on, who was it? My brother, I think, said this. Like if you go to a surgeon, right, or surgery, they ask you, what do you want? Do you want the best surgeon or do you want a person that looks like you? Man, no. I want the best surgeon. What that has to do with anything with skin color? Just give me the best one for the job with something serious, right? Like guys, right? Somebody said, Sid Rosenberg on a morning show that I see here in New York City. He said, we don't need woke capitalism to enter the sky. We don't need wokeness in the sky. We need safety in the sky.
So I think we're all done here on my side. Looks like we're pretty good. I think we're waiting on a couple bags.
Together with JP Morgan, where we are eliminating the financial barrier to entry for highly qualified and motivated candidates. I think that's good. I think that part is good. If it's a money issue that maybe certain people are not able to enter, that part is good. But don't say that that there's a quota for the people that you're gonna take. It's like you're gonna take them like no matter what, whether they pass the exam or the training. You're gonna suffice a quota, or you want safety for the people. I mean, I just don't understand.
Okay, great.
We're way ahead of schedule.
Good day. It's always good to be ahead.
Yeah.
Applications are open. Imagine that the hood applying to me. Yo, we here, man. We about to become pilots, y'all. Y'all heard? Imagine that craziness, man. And they're gonna imagine if that's the type of people that show up to get these planes, to get these jobs, right? We're gonna trade. I'm not flying United, plain and simple, man. And straight up, like the message has to be sent to these people already. Like enough is enough with the stupid woke capitalism, man. Where are we gonna end up, man? Insanity. But again, this is 2021, 2020. What the politicians are pushing, like Joe Biden, obviously. It's been insane, but there's been a lot of talk of gun violence in the news lately. A lot of shootings, right? Lately. A lot everywhere. An ex-NFL player shot I forget the name, man. Now I had it up here. Shot his family members and killed like 4 of them and then turned the gun on himself. There was a Pakistan, this guy was black, the ex-NFL player. There was a Pakistani 2 brothers in Texas who killed their whole Pakistani, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were Pakistani or Bangladeshi, one of the 2. They killed their whole family. They gave themselves 1 month to finish out the supposedly to fix the family problems. And then if in 1 month they're not fixed, they're gonna kill themselves and kill the whole family. And they did that exactly. Just a lot of stuff like this, right? Obviously, you guys know exactly what happened the other day in Colorado, right? And I think Joe Biden is going to ban a certain brace that I've never seen in my life, a certain brace, which some people actually say it's for people who are, handicapped people to be able to hold the gun and shoot and protect themselves, right? It has nothing to do with giving an advantage to the shooter. They banned that brace supposedly. So they really want to come for the guns and all that stuff, which I'm like, hey, man, if you're living in a state that you're able to have your gun, go get your gun. The first responders is not the police and it's not the EMT and it's not the fire department. The first responder is the victim, is you. Hopefully you never get to that situation, but the first responder, you. So get your gun. We have Joe Biden here speaking, and this is it's shameful, to be honest, to be talking about your group like this. It's shameful to be talking about your family like this, about your country like this. I tell you this, like, if your family problems, right? You have family problems. You don't want them out in the open. You don't want the whole world to know about your family problems. You're gonna take about you want your family problems to be with yourself. But look what Joe Biden says about the U.S. Look what Joe Biden says about the U.S. This is insanity. Biden condemns U.S. gun violence as international embarrassment. We are an international embarrassment, according to the president of the United States. How shameful that is. Get yourself, forget Coca-Cola. We don't need no more Coca-Cola. Pepsi's the one. As a matter of fact, Pepsi's the better one anyway. Please don't come with that Coca-Cola. You know what's or that they're the same thing? Whoever says that they're the same things have not even tasted, in reality, these two different soft drinks. Pepsi is way better. Why? Because Coca-Cola, who's ready to tell the truth? I'm dropping some truth right now while I take a sip of this water. I'm going to put an end right now to an international debate, and we're going to continue with the story. I'm going to put an end to it right now. Is Pepsi better or Coca-Cola better? And I'm going to tell you why. And you know why, too. You guys ready to know the truth? You heard it here on the Valentine show. If you want to know the truth about Pepsi and Coca-Cola, hit that like button. Hit that share button. Talking about that, remember to take advantage of the special code on my Teespring store for the Jesus shirts and sweaters and the 1776 shirts that say freedom or death. Obviously, you guys know, you guys saw that I put it on the chat last time, or on the show actually. Alexis bought hers and she got that. She's happy with hers. The code is share the love. There's a new code that Teespring sent me that I was not aware. Share the love together. And that's the code. You get 10% off. It's temporary. I don't know when they're going to take it off, to be honest. Here's the truth. Are you guys ready for the truth? Pepsi is better than Coca-Cola. Why is the question. Coca-Cola, I don't know if I should tell you guys this. I don't know if I should tell you guys this. You guys ready? Coca-Cola has too much fizz. There, I said it. It has too much fizz. Plain and simple. It has too much. It doesn't even, you can't even take too much of it because it's just too much fizz. I said it. I said the truth. I'm liberated. That's the truth. Coca-Cola has too much fizz. Pepsi does not. That's why I enjoy Pepsi, to be honest. Let's continue. The international embarrassment that the United States is, according to Joe Biden, according to the president of the United States, that's like your father saying, yeah, my daughter, man, our house is, or saying about my whole house, right? My house is an international embarrassment. We are an embarrassment to the neighborhood. The neighborhood is going to be like looking at them and be like, look at them. This guy is crazy. He calls himself an international embarrassment, his family, and he's the leader of it. Look at Joe Biden. This is in regards to their push, Democratic Party, liberals push to ban guns, right?
We got a long way to go. It seems like we always have a long way to go. But also today we're taking steps to confront not just the gun crisis, but what is actually a public health crisis. Nothing I'm about to recommend in any way impinges on the Second Amendment. They're phony arguments suggesting that these are Second Amendment rights at stake from what we're talking about. But no amendment to the Constitution is absolute. You can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. We call it freedom of speech. From the very beginning, you couldn't own any weapon you wanted to own. From the very beginning the Second Amendment existed, certain people weren't allowed to have weapons. So the idea is just bizarre to suggest that some of the things we're recommending are contrary to the Constitution. Gun violence in this country is an epidemic. Let me say it again. Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, and it's an international embarrassment.
You hear that? It's an international embarrassment. It's an epidemic. The Chinese will be like, they're hearing, you know, the Chinese, they're and everybody, Russia and all the Venezuela and all the haters of the United States and all the enemies of the United States are listening in, and they're jotting down notes. And now, you know what? We're gonna use this whenever we meet again. We're just gonna throw it in their face, which they do that. You know, I mean, it's just I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they did that in August, right? I mean, not in August, in the last meeting the first meeting that the United States had with China, saying China just came out and told them, because the United States trying to tell China what to do. China came back and said, like, the United States has no standing on telling China what to do because of, they're seeing that we're battling with racism and that there's a lot of racism. And I think they also brought up like BLM or racism, something like that. I mean, those are just the facts. And the leader of the world is telling basically he's the leader of the free world, right? Joe Biden, sadly for now, is telling the free world that we are an international embarrassment. America. I mean, what a stark contrast when you have Donald J. Trump and his failures, right, which he has, saying no, that America first, America is good, America is we are a great nation. This guy, on the other hand, is telling the world we are an international embarrassment. Let that sink in. The president, your president, the president, our president, telling us how horrible we are. Reaction. We're gonna do a live reaction. Just look how racist some of these kids that are coming up in the university are. This is an older video. This video is back from 2016, and it's a video on from Amy Horowitz, and he's asking people. He goes to two places. He goes to a university, and he asks people if asking people, black people in particular, to get IDs, is that a racist connotation, or is there any type of racist connotation towards it? And the university school kids are telling them yes, because black people cannot get one, right? They don't have access to that, which is a total lie. Then he takes the same questions and he goes to Harlem, which is a predominantly black neighborhood in New York City. Everybody knows that. And he asks black people if you are not able to get an ID. And some of these people might be insulted when you tell them, hey, listen, you're black, you can't get an ID. Here we go. Live reaction here on the Valentine show. Who's ready? Are you guys ready?
I'm Amy Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California to find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote. Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and
she just came out totally white right there. Let me put this back. This is hilarious.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist. And
I'm like, yeah, man, typical white girl. Yeah, man. I'm like, they're typically like pretty racist. I'm like, no, stop it. Talking about white people. I did a reaction to Tyson James, Less White. You got to go see the reaction. This guy put on blackface in 2021. And as a matter of fact, we got an interview coming down the pike. So be prepared for that, because that interview is coming. I just want to ask him why. Why did you do this? He's a Christian hip hop artist. You guys know that. And I just want to ask him, why did you wear blackface in 2021 and put it on a music video? But let's continue with this here. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Let's go.
they're bad. I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Wow, how is that a racist statement right there? Just telling people that black people are less likely to have state IDs? How do white people buy liquor? How do white people go to a hotel? How do black people? How do they do all that stuff? They need an ID to do all that stuff. They don't have him? They're less likely to have?
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
Are you crazy? She's like, black people don't have the knowledge of how the internet works or how the process works. Even if it's the process of the internet she's talking about, that is insanity to even say that. To even think that you're so superior that you say that black people don't have the knowledge to do this certain thing. That's insanity right there, that you believe a certain group of individuals in the United States don't have the knowledge. And I guarantee you 120% that girl, she votes Democrat. Facts.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or like they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of like black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, like you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the like African Americans.
Oh my God! Did you hear this? She just straight up said that a lot of African Americans it's a huge population to be convicted felons. Damn. And that they need to vote. Oh my God, this is insanity.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
Because they think like you're dumb or you don't know.
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes. Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like, we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy camera?
I know, right?
Like this black people have IDs. Democrats are the ones who are perpetuating this. And I bring this up because obviously what's going on in Georgia, again, this is back in 2016 that we're talking about this, right? They're saying that if you require black people to show IDs, that is voter suppression racism, because you don't want black people to vote because black people don't have IDs. This is the main gist to this.
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that, on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these.
Look at her face. Look at her face right here. She's like, why is this? It's almost like why are you even asking us this? Like, where are you even getting this? Well, from the white kids in school. They believe black people can't get IDs.
Sound like silly.
And the Democratic politicians also believe that it's hard for black people to get IDs.
Question. You know how to get the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
So stop that. Look at her attitude. She's like, I have access to the internet for years. So please stop that.
Exactly. I do it at work. So of course I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually
unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's what my thought process was.
I just think that's ignorant. Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the
very,
word I hear
very
a lot.
ignorant.
Ignorant.
Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you know, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of race.
I don't know how black people don't like up in arms about this, to be honest. When politicians say that if you require ID for voting, that's suppression, that is racism. I'm like, black people be like, are you calling us stupid? Are you calling us stupid? Black people should be up in arms about this.
In it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, like, what, you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it?
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are? Are you
Love
cool?
showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are? Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you had to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Incredible, man. Incredible, man. That's just how it is. That's how the Democratic Party. It seems like, and it's funny, but because why they don't want people to show ID when they vote? Why Why? That's the next natural question. Why they don't want people to show IDs? Why? Is it because they want to leave some type of loopholes open, that way they could cheat on the voting? Is that why? Because there's no, I mean, like, what other reason you don't want certain people to show IDs? And you need to show IDs, right? Because it's just, I know people personally that have sent their kids to vote for them because they don't require ID. What that opens up to fraud. Even, how do you know the child is gonna go in and vote for the person that you told him to vote? At the end of the day, he's not supposed to be voting. He's supposed to be voting for himself if he's able to. So that's the problem. But again, everything is racism. Racism for the Democratic Party, everything. They see racism everywhere. Now let's get to this. This is very controversial. New York is now going to be offering $15,600 of a one-time payment to undocumented workers, illegal immigrants, in other words, who lost their jobs during the pandemic, as $2.1 billion fund is approved to help those who missed out on stimulus checks. Because, and I want your thoughts on this, to be honest, and I'm gonna put you guys between a rock and a hard place right now. Okay, so they are going to give, not all of them qualify, obviously. It says only about 300 workers. You have to prove that you lived in New York, and they're gonna give about 300,000 people actually qualify for some portion of this. Not all are gonna qualify for the 15,600. Some of them are gonna qualify for 3,000. It's around here somewhere, 3,200, something like that, for the ones who cannot qualify. Look at it right here, 3,200. So you need to prove that you did work, that you resided in New York State as an illegal immigrant. You're gonna get these funds, right? Obviously, where are these funds coming from? They're coming from Mars, and a magical unicorn that is flying through space, and it's gonna just deliver the funds. No, the funds are coming for people's from taxes. That's where the funds are coming from. Nowhere else, right? Because if you lost your job and you're an illegal immigrant, you are able to qualify for this $15,600, right? Now let me put you, let me put your guys, your minds in between the rock and the hard place. A lot of these immigrants, yeah, I think the figure is around 60 to 70%, if I'm not mistaken, pay taxes. Should they qualify still? They pay taxes. Why do they pay taxes even though that they are illegal? Because some of these avenues, these legal pathways that they have in the United States to get their papers require that you show good faith. And one of the ways to show good faith, that you're willing to follow the laws of the United States and be a good citizen, even though you came in breaking the law, is that you pay taxes, or you show your proof of paying taxes throughout the year through something called not a social security number, but an ITN number. Which is a number just like your social security, which allows you to pay taxes. And as a matter of fact, you're still able to get a return, even if you're an illegal immigrant. Yes, even if you're an illegal immigrant. Should they still qualify for this? Obviously, not all of them pay taxes. I can't say that the ones who are going to receive them, all of these people have paid taxes. Should they still qualify for this? This is a big amount of money. In my opinion, are you ready for my response? No. This is a very simple no. It's not fair. Even if these illegal immigrants pay taxes, because they pay taxes because they want to. Nobody's telling them to pay taxes. The big problem is that it incentivizes what? Illegal immigration. They came in illegally, and now you're going to give them a prize. It's illegal. They're illegal, right? And it's funny because I caught a lot of slack on I have a TikTok in Spanish, and I put it, and I said that it's not fair because it incentivizes illegal immigration. It incentivizes a lot of things, and it's not good. People broke the laws, and they're going to get rewarded now. I mean, it's just not fair, to be honest, in my opinion, for 15,600 of U.S. taxpayer dollars to be given to immigrants. Like I said, I understand that they give money, but it incentivizes. What does it incentivize? It incentivizes. Look at the border crisis that we have in the southern border of the United States of America. The word it flies. It goes back to these countries. So they get the 15,600. Hey, whoever in Guatemala or wherever they are, whatever illegal country they are, and not only illegal country in South America, there's a whole bunch of illegal people that come here and they overstate their visas, right? Not only South America and Mexico are the ones who are coming here illegal. There's a whole bunch of people that overstay their visas. So the word goes out, hey, come to New York. They're not going to deport you. As a matter of fact, they're going to give you 15,600. They're going to qualify you. They're going to treat you as if you have papers. Why not take the chance, right? And come through the border? Why not stay if you're going to get these papers, right? And these money and all these, and they're going to treat you, and they're going to protect you. They're going to treat the state as a sanctuary city, and they're not going to report you to ICE. Why not come and take the chance? And you guys saw that last week, there was these two little girls, 3 and 5, I think. They were just dropped over the border, just like a UPS package, like here. 2 human beings, girls on top of that, just dropped over the U.S. smugglers, dropped them over the U.S. Border. So it's feeding this human trafficking. It's feeding these cartels at the border. I mean, like, these are the consequences of illegal immigrants not paying the price that they have to pay because they came illegally. And look what happened. And look, they come and they do strikes. Like, it's like you go to another country. It's like, for example, if you let's say you are for this, right? You're like, yeah, I don't care. So let me go into your house, into your apartment. You don't know me, and let me tell you what you have to do in your apartment, and let me eat your food. Let me just tell you all you have to do in your apartment. They come. It's like they feel like they have rights, and I mean, it's not fair. Straight up, it's not fair for the people that made the line. They will want this done in their own countries. Apply it to your own country. Apply it to your own house. Say, okay, do I want people from other countries to come into my country? We're going to pay them money. I understand the whole situation, but we're going to pay them money. They're going to have rights also, right? I believe in rights and human rights. Treat them with decency, all that stuff. But you cannot be incentivizing this money. You cannot be incentivizing these illegal immigration. Cesar Chavez, the immigrant. Well, no, he's not an immigrant. He was born here, but he was from immigrant parents. Cesar Chavez, you guys know him. He's responsible for unionizing farm workers in the United States, and he was against illegal immigration because there's repercussions to illegal immigrations. All these people that are for illegal immigration, they have no idea what they're even talking about. It impacts economies. It impacts a whole bunch of things. It impacts and then they come with the idea, oh no, that they're here to work. Everybody's here to work. Then open up the border then. I mean, it's just insanity. And look, they were doing like hunger strikes in New York. Like, I mean, it's just, while there's veterans on the streets, while there's homeless on the street, American citizens we're talking about. And it's funny because when you say that you're against this, they want to put you like you're the bad guy. Oh, I got a speck in my eye. Like you're the bad guy. Like you're talking stupidity, like you're talking gibberish. No, it doesn't go like that. Wow. Let's continue here. But yeah, man, I think it's unfair. I'm going to pass off the questions to you and let me know what you guys think. And the reality is that this is the reality. So they're going to give money and look what happens then after that, right? I'm not sure if this is in the same package, but it probably is, right? Because this news came out on April 7th, 2 days ago. New York's ultra-rich face 52% combined top income tax rate, highest in the U.S. So they're going to put up the tax rate. You think all this stuff comes with, it's free money? It's not free money. Somebody's paying for it, right? It's insane. Let me rush through these couple of stories because we're going to turn on the line. So this is in Canada. Grace Life Church shuttered by authorities after flaunting COVID-19 rules. So a church in Canada, they're putting barricades up. They just be like, we're shutting you down, because they had the audacity to not respect the COVID-19 lockdown laws. So the authorities come out and they're gonna shutter the church. I've said it. We have to respect authorities. As Christians, we have to respect authorities, but up to a certain point. We just cannot say everything that the authorities want, because next thing they want to shut down your church. Then they want to require vaccine passports, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this pastor that you guys have seen him on the news, this guy right here, his name is Pastor James Coates, who spent 1 month in prison for defining the laws. Now his church, they placed a barricade. Let me put this here. They placed a barricade around his church because he dare have services. Up to what is the point? When do authorities, and just think about it. If you take the responsibility, you understand the responsibilities that come with the virus, right? Which I'm not gonna say, because my Spanish channel was, as a matter of fact, we're going to my Spanish channel after this, but the Spanish channel has been given a strike, so I cannot upload anything there. But we're gonna have the live show today on Facebook, right? El Show de Valentin on Facebook. We're gonna have it there. If you take the precautions you find necessary, the government is literally can't tell you to do anything, absolutely anything. The government is not there to shut down your place. They're not there for that. They're not there to do none of that stuff. Yet they're acting like that. Very dictatorship. It's going down in Canada. It's insane what's going down in Canada. Okay, now let's I'm gonna turn on the lines, and I'm gonna be talking about these. Let me just turn. You know what? Yeah, let me turn on the lines right now. That way, anybody who wishes to call can give me a nice call. Here we go. There you go. Because I gotta shut down at 9 p.m. today on the dot. The way I set up on Facebook, because I forgot. The number to call is 646-470-1077. That is the number to call. Now let's talk about a little bit about George Floyd and DMX. Let's talk about George Floyd a little bit. I haven't talked too much about George Floyd on the channel. I'm not paying attention to the trial. Whatever happens at the trial happens. I mean, I'll accept the results. What the prosecution has, all they have to prove, the way that they're gonna try to convict Derek Chauvin, the officer who I believe did a horrible job, in my opinion, is that his knee on the neck actually caused his death. Obviously, it's proven that he had drugs in the systems, which is that, I mean, that's just a fact. So the prosecution needs to be able to separate the drugs that he had in the system and the knee on the neck of George Floyd that caused the death. I'm reading from NPR. So this is the cause of death of George Floyd. Dr. Andrew Baker, the Hennepin County medical examiner, testified on Friday in a Minneapolis courtroom as prosecutors tried to prove former police officer Derek Chauvin was responsible for George Floyd's death in police custody last May. Prosecutor Jerry Blackwell questioned Baker about the autopsy report he had completed in Floyd's death, which cites, this is the official cause of death: cardiopulmonary arrest, complicated law enforcement subdual, restraint, and neck compression. Baker concluded that Floyd's death was a homicide, right? Which, as a forensic pathologist, he explained means that someone else was involved in the death, not necessarily that it was criminal. So somebody else was involved, obviously, Derek Chauvin. Blackwell also asks how it was a subdual, restraint, and neck compression caused Floyd's death. Baker explained that Floyd had severe underlying heart disease. Floyd also had hypertensive heart disease. Baker said, which means that his heart weighed more than it should. So he, and I'm quoting, so he has a heart that already needs more oxygen than normal heart by virtue of its size, and it's limited in its ability to step up to provide more oxygen when there is demand because of the narrowing of his coronary arteries, Baker said. Obviously, the narrowing of his coronary arteries is because of the subdual of George Floyd. I think there's some extremes that are going on here on both sides of the aisle, on the conservative side and on the obviously on the left. There's always extremes on the left. On one side, they're trying to portray on the left, they're trying to portray George Floyd as like this person that we should revere as a good human being and all that, etc. I'm totally 100% against that. And obviously everybody knows that George Floyd wasn't that, right? Then on the right side, they're trying to say, okay, he was a horrible human being. He had drugs in his system and he did this, he did, which is all true, right? Is all true. But my question is, does that have to do with what happened that day there, right there? Why do you have to even bring that up in my humble opinion, right? The guy did have drugs on the system. That's 100% sure, right? But what did that have to do? For example, I think that people we conservatives, and let me not even say we conservative, but sometimes it seems like we act without compassion. Steven Crowder this week did and I didn't even see it because I don't know what's the reason why did he even have to do this? He's doing a little act or a little demonstration where somebody steps on his neck, right? I guess to prove that doesn't block the pathways. Which I'm like, what did you gain from that? And now you look very uncompassionate. At the end of the day, whether he was whatever he did in the past, which is a horrible thing. We're talking about George Floyd. They say that he supposedly pointed a gun at a pregnant woman. That is horrible to do something like that, right? You cannot say on the other side, right, that he should have, that it was fine for the officer to step on his knee like that, on his neck. You can't say that. You can't go out your way. In my opinion, I don't know why Steven Crowder did it. Why you got to go out your way to prove that whatever Derek Chauvin did is like permissible, is almost like that. That's what it seems like, right? That they might be doing. I might be wrong. He might not be doing that, but that's what it seems like. And I mean, it brings nothing to nothing here. At the end of the day, what he did was horrible. What the officer did was horrible. His attitude towards having his knee on his neck was horrible. I tell you this. If he takes his knee, and there was other people holding the guy down at the end of the day, right? He was in handcuffs at the end of the day. I mean, and wasn't he on drugs too? So like, he wasn't even resisting at that point, in my opinion. You have other people already holding him down, so just get off his neck. You even if he had maybe his knee on his back, I think that would have been more permissible for a lot of people, to be honest, but not on his neck. So that's the problem. I think it's horrible. I think he's probably going to get convicted. Like I said, I think they just have to prove that what he did that day, if they're able to separate the drugs he had on his system from the restraint that he used, and if they're able to drill down the fact that caused him this death. Did Derek Chauvin went out to kill this man in front of people while they were recording him? You got to be a leftist. You got to be a Democrat to say that he went to kill this black person. To this day, it has not been proven that this had absolutely nothing to do with racism. If you say that it has to do with racism, that's your opinion, not a fact, your opinion. And that's just that they had other people, I think Latinos and I forget what other race, holding the guy down for Floyd. So it is that at the end of the day, he's probably going to get convicted of something, not murder, but probably of manslaughter. And who knows what's going to happen in Minnesota. Guys, the number to call 646-470. The lines are open, 646-470-1077. So call now if you're going to call, please, because I got to shut it down at 9 on the dot, right? Because, again, I got to go over to Facebook for today because I cannot upload on YouTube since they have me blocked. Remember, guys, we have the special still going on if you want to support the channel, you want to support me, you want to spend your conservative dollars on somebody that appreciates your way of thinking, and at the end of the day, you're actually doing something to support your message, go buy a shirt from the Valentine Show. The link is downstairs in the description on Teespring, and use that code. Share the love, all caps together, and you're gonna get 10% off. DMX. Let's talk about DMX a little bit. Let me see. Oh, look, Morgan says, I don't think the VAC itself is the mark of the beast, but I think the passport is. I can't say for sure that any of them are the mark of the beast. What I could say 100% sure is how easy with the passport you could implement the mark of the beast, because the Bible says it. Revelation, it says you will not be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast, right? So what they're saying with the passport is, you cannot go here if you don't have this passport. You cannot go there if you don't have this passport. But remember, the mark of the beast is going to be, I think it's on the right hand and the forehead. So it has to be some type of chip implant, tattoo, or something like that, that it has to be on the skin itself. It can't be a paper or a card or something like that. Those are just the facts. Let me see. Let's talk about a little bit what somebody calls here, because you guys are afraid. Let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Steven, you called? I'm calling, no answer. Try it again. Mr. Heli TV and Steven. Try calling again. Let's talk about DMX. DMX is a conundrum. My piece of condolences to his family. Every time you lose a loved one, I mean, it's just insane. Hello, Mr. Arheli TV. What's up?
Oh, I didn't thought you was gonna pick up. Let me turn this down.
Yeah, no. I picked up. It's me.
What's going on?
Not much, man. What are you mad at today, man? I saw you saying that that Coke is better than Pepsi, man. What are you crazy, man?
Yeah, it has more fizzle.
That's the problem. Oh, but I'm glad at least that confirms that what I said was true. That Coke does have more fizzle than Pepsi, and that's 100% true. That's why I don't like Coke. I like Pepsi. But what's up? Talk to me, man.
I've been hearing that Trump was stealing money from you guys. What's up with that, man?
That's Trump was stealing money from us? I don't think he was stealing money from us.
From the donation.
Yeah, but what? Let me ask you this: how do you know this was something that? Okay, so tell me the whole thing. The whole story.
This is what I heard.
There you go. That's what you. That's the first thing you have to say. This is what I heard.
This is what I heard. This is what I heard. But it's true, because I went to the thing. I went to the website and it says it.
Okay, go. Tell me the story.
Look. Right? You go. You donate $3, $5, $10,000, $5,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then what was happening was that you was donating again next month, the same amount, and then next month the same amount.
Okay.
What the site or the Republicans, I don't know which one was it.
Mm-hmm.
They checked the box already for you that says I want to give this money every month.
Okay. So maybe that's just a marketing thing. I mean, they're not the only company that does that. I signed up for BJ's the other day, and they gave me a special. BJ's Wholesale Clubs. It's like a Costco for the people that don't know. I signed up for it. It was a special. You got to pay like $50, but I ended up paying like $30. And they told me that it was some conditions towards it. The condition was that
you see the keywords right there?
Mm-hmm.
They told you about it.
Okay, but so you think that they didn't tell them about it? They were like, okay, you paid $30. We're not gonna tell you anything about it. You don't gotta check no box. We're gonna take it everywhere. You sure it was there was nothing written on the bottom that there's gonna be a monthly contribution?
It was already pre-checked.
Okay, but if it's pre-checked, it's up to you then for you to take it off. Like if you can't read, you can't blame other people.
Exactly. Thank you. The Republicans themselves are calling Republicans stupid.
Why?
That's what was going on.
With what? With who? With what?
Because he's saying, "Hey, listen, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that you giving me money again.
No.
You didn't read what was there."
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm like, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, it's donating to Trump. I don't know what, if you're gonna blame Trump himself for doing it. I'm like,
when when you uncheck the box, it says that they're gonna tell Trump that you siding with the Democrats.
No. It was that Trump that you are a defector, right?
No, and it says it there too that you are siding with the Democrats.
That's. I mean, I understand Democrats don't understand what a joke is, but because they think everything is serious, that's a joke, bro.
It's not April Fool, man.
Man, it's not a bro. So it says if you uncheck the box, uncheck the box, I mean, they're gonna tell Trump.
You know how many people? You know how many people be scared to uncheck that box just because it says that?
I don't know. And if an adult is scared to uncheck a box that says we're gonna tell on you, I don't know if that person could even be considered an adult, man. I mean, it's crazy, bro. But that's just how it is. What do you think about illegal immigrants receiving $50,600? Is that fair? Do you think that's fair? Is that good? Even though some of them they pay taxes, is that fair?
Well, I was gonna say that, right? They all pay taxes.
Some of them. No. They might. Some of them. They might 60 to 70%. Okay. Some of them might not pay at all, and they might be receiving this. Like literally, they don't pay at all. They are able to prove that they lived in New York and that they work and that they get the $15,000. I mean, that might happen.
The thing, right? Here's the thing. When I give $1 to a bum in the streets, I could care less what he does with that $1.
But that's your money.
Some people say, no, I'm not gonna give him that because then he's gonna use it on drugs. Then he's gonna do this. Like, so what? You gave the money. That's it.
It's your money. That's true. You have the right to do whatever you want with your money.
So how the taxes is, they're gonna take your taxes and they could do whatever they want.
And you don't care what they do with it. You don't care.
I don't care I don't care, bro.
You say that. You know why? You know why you say that? You know why you say that? Because you feel like it doesn't affect you. That's why you say that. But I'll tell you right now. Listen. If they take off the police and they don't fund the police, if they don't fund the fire department, if they don't fund the EMT, if they don't fix the streets, if they don't do a whole bunch of things that you expect the government to do with your taxes, you will be complaining 100%.
Listen. If it was up to me, I'll take the police out.
And live in
they don't do nothing.
And live in anarchy.
They don't do nothing. They just give tickets. That's all they do. Trust me when I tell you that, bro.
Listen, bro. Listen. The only reason you live in a society that is livable, especially in a place like New York City, there is no other answer than because of the police. It will be chaos, dude. You have no idea. You know why you say that? Because you don't know what it is to live without the police. Everywhere you lived in your whole life, there has always been some type of control. That's the only reason you say that.
Giving tickets out. That's what they do. You know what they do? They sneak around. They be like, okay, let me hide here. They're going to make that left turn. And then when they do the left turn, they go and get you. It's like a gotcha game.
Yeah.
They're there to they're supposed to be there to prevent.
Okay.
They're supposed to be there to say, hey, don't make that left there.
Right.
No, but they hide and they let you make that left because they're going to get money out of it.
Yo, bro, you have a bad view of the police, and it's not good. The police are necessary to society. But bro, let me talk to you later. Let me see if I could take one more call before I hang up and go on to Facebook. Thank you for calling, bro. Peace. That's Mr. Aheli TV. Hey, he does what he does, man. That's my cousin. You guys know that. The number to call 646 470-1077. One more call, 2-3 minutes. Whoever could call, please call right now, because I gotta be wrapping it up here shortly. But yeah, I mean, it's just insanity. Let me see. Okay, let me see here. Okay, there you go. Caller, you on the air?
Yeah, it's me, Steven, man. Thanks. I was letting the other guy call you first.
Talk to me, Steve. What's
up? I know
up?
the other guy is your cousin.
Yeah.
I believe. Okay, when he said right there, I don't care what they do with the taxes, like giving a bum $1. Well, first of all, $15,600 is a much bigger difference than $1 to a bum. Secondly, when we put our taxes into the system, and we have to fight the government in order to get the stimulus, because remember, they didn't want to give it to us at first.
Oh yeah,
they were fighting back and forth over measly $600. They didn't even want to give us the $600 let alone the $1,400. So you're okay with somebody getting $15,600 that's not even that broke almost every law to be here.
Yep.
Gets a free check for absolutely not. I mean, not absolutely nothing. I mean, some of them work. I get that, but you're rewarding them for bad behavior.
You're incentivizing,
and you're giving them $15,600. But yet, when we want our $600, it's like pulling teeth. And they didn't even want to give us the $600, let alone they already anonymously given somebody else $15,600. That's not even in this country. It's the same thing when we got the stimulus, the last one, and they were funding other countries for transgender studies and all these things that have nothing to do with the pandemic at all in this country, let alone the pandemic around the world.
Let them know, Stephen. Let them know, man.
So what? So this 15. Oh, well, I don't care with the 15,600. What about the other money that was going to transgender studies in Pakistan? What the hell does that have to do with the pandemic? That has nothing. That's not even. Even if you said, well, what about transgender study in the U.S.? Even though I don't agree with that, I would rather go to transgender studies here than in Pakistan. Why the hell are they getting money? They have nothing to do with our economy.
During the pandemic and during the stimulus. Look, I come from the Dominican Republic. And if in the stimulus they said that they were going to give money to the Dominican Republic, I will be against it. You know why? Because the money is supposed to be going to legal residents and citizens of the United States of America. They should not be going to anybody, especially in a pandemic. Anybody that is not an American, that is not a legal resident of the United States of America. Why? Because there's so many homeless out there that are Americans. There's so many veterans out there that need the money. Why are we gonna be taking money and giving it to people that broke the laws to come into the United States? It makes no sense to me. And this is what the funny thing about this is, Stephen, that a lot of immigrants are like for this. I'm like, yeah, it's good that they're giving money. But I guarantee you that if this exact same thing would be done in their home countries to illegal immigrants in their home countries, they will be against it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree hands down. And the United States is funding other countries, like Guatemala and, Central America and even Mexico. They send foreign aid all the time.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, you got your pandemic money.
I think I just saw a title just today that they are thinking, again, don't quote me on this, but they are thinking about sending more money to South America, I think, in an effort to stop the flow of immigrants into the United States of America, because they believe that throwing money at the issue will resolve the problem. I don't know about that. I've always had this view about South America. I believe, and I think the pandemic showed it, that if we're able, American companies we're talking about, if we take manufacturing away from China, who's a hostile enemy country, and take manufacturing from there, obviously understand why it's there in the first place. It's an economic issue. It's everything comes out cheaper. If we take manufacturing from there and we put it in South America and in Mexico, in our side of the world, we stop two things. We still get cheap goods, which Americans want. We are very consumer driven. And then we're able to stop the flow of immigrants because now they have jobs in factories in South and Central America. That's just my 2 cents on that, man.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100% on that. And last thing, since you mentioned China, this is what I don't understand. And I know this doesn't pertain to your topic you're talking about, but this whole Asian hate thing.
Everything is open. Everything is open. All topics are open.
Okay, the whole Asian hate thing is bullshit. And this is why I say this.
Hey, the cursing, first thing that they accuse. Remember the cursing, Stephen? No cursing.
Okay, it's BS. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. When they first came out with the Asian hate, the first thing they came out with was last year, sometime around May, where they discussed about Asian American businesses were plummeting due to the fact that people were not going to shop at restaurants and stuff. So they were calling that racist. They were pushing that agenda, and I said, no, it's not racist. It's the result of China's that whole Wuhan, whatever you call it, the release of the coronavirus.
Of course, everybody. I mean, it's not racist that you're just taking care of your people. I mean, you're trying to avoid a certain situation. I mean, listen, call me racist. I eat Chinese food all the time. I avoided Chinese restaurants at the beginning of the pandemic because of that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
But let me ask you this, though. Why is it that they can call it Asian hate in the United States, but they can't call their own country out for the release of this virus? Because there's millions of people globally that died and economically are struggling due to this. And it's easy for them to call out us and say, well, you have to sympathize with us, but they won't even acknowledge their wrongdoing, their country's wrongdoing for what they started.
I think, Steve, we have to try to make a very conscious effort in separating Chinese people from the Chinese Communist government themselves. I think it's two different things, right? I think a lot of the Chinese people are here because they don't want to be in China, obviously. There's a whole bunch of people, Chinese people, migrants, that do call out their government out because they understand of the human rights violations and all that stuff that's going down in China. They definitely understand that it's a communist country. Okay. I think obviously them condemning or calling out the country and saying that it was that they set this virus out on the world on purpose. I think obviously some people believe that firmly, but there's the facts have not proven that 100% yet. And actually I did a video
so you're saying until that happens, we won't see that.
Maybe that's why you won't see that, right? Because there's not 100% consensus telling people that, they left it out from Wuhan on purpose. Even though I covered it on the show, and I'm surprised they didn't give me a strike for that here. The ex-CDC director under Trump, he said, and this guy's a virologist, this is what this guy has been doing. He said himself that the evolution of this virus most likely did come from a lab. But we're going to leave it there because I don't want to get this.
Okay, all right. And thank you for taking my call, man.
Steven, my brother, thank you, man. You have a good one.
Thanks as always.
Bye-bye. All right. That was Steven. Thank you for the people that made this show possible, the people that called. Thank you. Ronnie, like always, on the chat. Alexis Morgan, Mr. Heli TV. Sonia Scrapbook doing her thing. Bernardo Obando Jr. in the casa. Ingrid, like always. Right now, there you go. Let me just get this link right now. Let me put this for the Spanish speakers. Let me get this link right here. I'm gonna put it on the chat. This is where I'm gonna be going live in Spanish because, like I said, my show is the YouTube channel in Spanish is blocked. Okay, so that's the link right there. I just put it in the chat. That's I'll be probably around 9:15, 9:20. I should be live on there. Again, excellent show. Love it. A lot of information. I didn't talk about, you know what? Let me take 2 minutes to talk about DMX. Let me take 2 minutes, just these 2 minutes to talk about DMX. DMX is a rapper that, again, I was raised Christian, but my father hated hip hop. But I come from listening to a lot of hip hop. I come from listening to a lot of Puff Daddy, Mace, DMX, a lot of all that stuff, right? DMX was one of my favorite rappers. What was it? DMX, over the last couple of years, had been actually preaching a lot of the word of God. There's a video around there. He's rapping, saying that Jesus this, Jesus that. I don't know. First of all, let's get one thing straight clear. They still don't know what the cause of death is. They're talking about heart failure, but they don't know if it's because due to a drug overdose. They don't know. They don't know this. Let me tell you guys this, guys. We don't know who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. We don't know that. We might have an inclination of who's who depending on the way that they live their life here, right? But even like this, a person like Hitler, like, right, who was a horrible monster. He proved that in his life. In his last moments on this earth, and this is just the way God works. We don't know if he asked for forgiveness and he made it to heaven. I could assume right now, if you ask me, yo, where is Hitler? If you guys ask me right now, I'll tell you, most likely he's in hell, most likely. But I don't know that because I'm not God. DMX preached the word of God. And let's say that he did have a drug problem, right? The only way we make it to heaven is not but anything that we do. It's because of the grace of God, right? I don't know where DMX is right now. I hope he's in heaven. I hope that he's there, right? We all have our problems. We are going to continue having our problems, even as children of the Lord. That's why God is the judge. I'm not the judge. Nobody's the judge. So but saying that if you see somebody stealing, you still are able to call them out, right? If you see somebody that says that they're Christian and they're lying, you're still able to call them out. You can still do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when the time draws on you, like it did to DMX, like it's gonna happen to you, like it's gonna happen to me, like it's gonna happen to everybody. When that time comes that it draws on you, the ultimate judge is God. Hebrews 9:27 says, we are all appointed to live once, and then after that, judgment. Plain and simple. I hope DMX is in heaven. I hope his family is able to get through these tough situations that they're going through, sadly, right now in their personal life. I mean, devastating to lose a family member, and in that manner, if it was by a drug overdose, I mean, it's just insanity. Again, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna go. I put the link on the chat, El Show de Valentin on Facebook, because the YouTube channel is blocked, and we're gonna be doing this show, but with the input of my beautiful wife, Jackie. I forgot to do this last time I had my live show, and that is pray at the end, right? I totally forgot to do that. Hey, what's going on? It's lagging here, but we're gonna continue. Let's pray, right? Father that's in heaven, I thank you, Lord, for this amazing show. I thank you, Lord, for all the people that are here at the chat. Thank you for the people that are watching. I ask you that you bless them, that you guide them, that you protect them, Lord, that they are able to witness you and see you in every facet of their life, Lord, that they're able to put their hope not on any human being, but that they're able to put their hope on you. I ask you, Lord, that you bless their children, their family members, they're at their jobs, Lord, that you help them be fruitful, that you help them be successful, and that you help them with any type of depression that they're feeling, any type of anything bad, Lord. If anybody's suffering from the Rona, I ask you that you help them go through this and that you bless them. I thank you, Lord, for another great show, and I ask you that you bless everybody in their weekends and this upcoming work week. I thank you, Father, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Guys, enjoy this weekend. Go have some fun with your family. And I didn't even talk about this on this show, but in my household right now, we're going through Rona. My wife came out positive with Rona, but she's good, thank God. We're good. You guys remember when I was feeling sick about maybe 2 weeks ago? That was most likely Rona, because I was the one that got positive first in my house. I mean, negative. Actually, I got sick first. I went to get a rapid test. I came out negative. My wife went to get a rapid test. She came out negative, but she had an operation coming like 2 days later, and she went to get I guess not the rapid test. She came out positive, but she came out positive. But we're doing good. We are on the other side of this. Not everybody dies from Rona, so don't go crazy out there. We're doing good, and thank God we did this. But guys, that's it. End of the show. I mean, I want to continue, but I have to go somewhere else. Guys, God bless, Godspeed. See you guys on the other side. See you guys next week. Be on the lookout for probably on Sunday. We're going to be dropping that interview with Tyson James regarding him wearing blackface. Peace.